What's going on, everybody? My name's Dave. Welcome to another exciting episode of Crypto Awesome, where crypto is simplified and awesomeness is amplified. And today, you guys are in for a treat because we have the founders of STAX on the channel. We're going to talk all about STAX today. STAX is going to be launching really soon, and I'm just going to get right to it. Let me add the founders of STAX. We got Dude and Utah. What's going on, guys?
Another day in Titan paradise. In this Titan dip.
Exactly. Sometimes these red, it's like we just get the bubbles up, and all of a sudden the bubbles are red. You're like, oh, come on, bubbles. But it's all good. But hey, I'm really excited to have you guys on here. So yeah, you got STAX coming. I mean, when you do have a launch date. Is it the 28th? Oh, no, when's STAX launching?
22nd.
22nd.
Yes, sir.
So we got 9 days, guys. We got 9 days for STAX to launch. Now, STAX is fascinating. If anybody was ever looked at E280, you might be interested in STAX. And even if you didn't get an E280, you might be interested in STAX. STAX is a fascinating protocol. And actually, I heard some of the stream you did today, dude, about, anyways, I'm going to let you guys jump into it. So whoever wants to go first, give me a quick rundown of what STAX is.
You want me to take that, or you got it, Utah?
Take it away, dude.
I mean, very simply put, it's the staking easy button for TitanX, TitanX ecosystem. So if you're a staker, this is the one-stop shop. You can come in, mint a STAX NFT, and you are now automatically in every staking pool, and including as new pools pop up, you're automatically getting routed into those as well. So it's literally just hold an NFT and that's it, and earn rewards in X28.
Okay, so you earn rewards in X28, not all of the other protocols?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so everything will convert to X28, the rewards, so then those can be given back to the users. Now, how long do you have to hold the NFTs?
There's no staking or lockup period, just the same as E280. You just hold the NFT liquid in your wallet, and in STAX, the payouts are every 9 days. So you got an NFT every 9 days. X28 is sent. It's not sent. You're available to claim
So
these
you're
tokens.
max staking in all protocols, and you don't even, if you're a staker, you don't actually have to max stake in any protocols anymore. You just have to buy an NFT, and then you could get out of your stake. Get out. You could get out at any time, because if you max stake, if you just go straight to a protocol and max stake, you can't get out until the end, or you get a huge penalty if those are even available. And but see, for you, STAX is gonna max stake in all of these protocols, so now you're not actually tying up your funds, actually, in one sense.
100%. Yes. Liquid staking is a huge bullet point that we're trying to showcase here.
Staking. Okay, so that's called liquid. Wow, liquid staking, dude. Yes. Blowing my mind. That's amazing. I love that.
And and then people are like, well, how the hell does that work? Well, we've got staking payouts that are going to the STAX buy and burn. So if you're just holding the STAX token, or you've got the NFT, which is backed by the STAX token, these staking payouts are buying and burning STAX. So you're getting the STAX token is appreciating in value with every staking payout. And so you're getting that price appreciation of the payouts, where at any point, though, you can dump your tokens on the market, so.
Okay, so hold on. So E280, so E280 did have a token, but E369 did not have a token. It was only NFTs. So this one is going to be STAX
back to the original E280 model.
So are you going to be minting STAX NFTs using the STAX token?
No, it's TitanX. So You bring Titan X to the table. You're minting, and it's a 1-for-1. So 1 Titan X gets you 1 STAX.
And is there a 28-day cycle on this one too?
Exactly. Yep. 1-for-1 the entire 28 days.
Mm.
Yep.
So, wow. So okay. So what's the token for? I mean, what's the STAX token for? Just like price appreciation style.
Yeah, like I said, like that's what allows people for the liquid staking. Because like you can just hold the token, and all the staking rewards, not all of them, but a portion of those staking rewards are going to buy and burn stacks. So if you're a stacks holder, you're getting the staking payouts from all these pools, and it's pumping your token. And then at any point you decide, you know what, I need to, I'm ready to leave this system and go to something else. You can sell your tokens. And then say you sell your tokens and you go somewhere else, and you make some money, and you're like, oh, I want to go back in. You just come back in, buy some tokens, and now you're again just getting staking payouts that are not directly paid to you, but they are benefiting you because they are buying and burning your token. And so we're having this.
Are the NFTs collateralized by STAX token?
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha. So if you burn your NFT, you get STAX token in your wallet.
Exactly. And so the added bonus to holding the NFT is you are getting rewards. So if you got the
How
NFT,
are you doing X28 rewards with their holding? You know, it's not, because in E280 you get E280 rewards.
Correct. Yeah. So E280's reward model is through tax. You know, that's an arbitrage token.
Right, okay.
It's pulling in tax, and that tax is in E280. With STAX, the reward model is from staking. So we're taking all the Titan X from mints, staking in all of these pools, and those pools are paying out in ETH or Titan X, and we're converting all of that into X28. And then we're paying out NFT holders in X28. We're running the STAX buy and burn through X28. Everything is getting 100% of what's coming out of STAX is getting converted to X28. So we're expecting a huge Titan X burning through this protocol.
Wow. So that's cool. Yeah, gotcha. So it's, it's kind of an indirect burn in a way, because when you just go to X28, there's 50% burn. So you don't even, do you have an additional buy and burn on top of the X28 move?
Yeah, like that's our the STAX buy and burn is ran off of X28. So even what we're pushing through the buy and burn, we're converting that Titan X to X28 first, and then sending X28 to the buy and burn. And also STAX is built on E280. So the buy and burn is actually going to take X28, buy E280, and then take the E280 to buy STAX. So this is going to add, tons of burning of Titan X, and added tons of volume through E280. So like this is going to support.
So this is your main pair is going to be E280 STAX.
Yeah.
Are you going to have other pairs, or is it just going to be that one mainly?
Just the single pair. Yeah, we want
V3 this time.
It can't be because it's paired with E280. So anything with E280 has to be a V2.
Gotcha. Yeah, right. Okay, man, this is fascinating, because this couldn't exist without E280. Like, well, it probably could. It would just be different. But it's funny because like all of these things, they're kind of derivatives. Now this one is this one's very different. And the one thing I liked about what I heard this morning when I was listening to you guys jam out was, people are some people are worried that, these staking protocols are coming in and they're kind of diluting everybody's stakes. Well, what you made a good point of is basically the people coming in to STAX were already stakers. Like they would have just gone and staked on their own anyway. And so if they come in through STAX, it's literally the same thing. It's the same economic energy coming into that specific staking pool. So it's not diluting anybody more than a normal staker entering the pool. And they can exit at any time, the liquid staking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, that's you've said it perfectly right there. Like that's really is what it is. Like Stacks is not magically coming in and taking over pools. Like it has to get this economic energy, and it's coming from people minting these NFTs. The people minting these NFTs are stakers. That's what they want. That's what they like. So we're just making it easy for the user to stake. But that doesn't. It's different routing, but it's all the same in the end when it comes to like Blaze or Helios or any of these protocols. Ultimately, it is a staker coming in. So whether it's the user,
there's not that many staking protocols right now. I mean, there's like 4, right? There's TitanX, Blaze, Flux,
Helios, Hyper, Eden,
Eden. Okay.
And Ouroboros coming out very soon. Taurus, although I don't think we'll be in that one.
Well, I think it's kind of, he said it's kind of trying to prevent people from or contracts from staking in Taurus.
Right.
I can't quite wrap my head around Taurus yet. I'm trying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to watch his video about that, and I'm like, okay, well, interesting. But yeah, so maybe not Taurus because it's a different kind of setup. Now, the staking payouts, can any staking payouts get paid to people in stuff other than X28, or are all of the staking payouts 100% going to transfer to X28 in order to get to people?
The one exception we have is Hyper. Like, so pretty much everything is easily converted to TitanX and payouts. So a lot of them are ETH or TitanX as it is. Hyper is paid out in Hyper, and we don't want to sell Hyper down to TitanX to convert to X28 to pay rewards. So what we're doing with Hyper is instead of selling it down to TitanX, we're using it to buy E280. And then we just deposit E280 straight into our buy and burn. And so it's still supporting the Stacks protocol without having to sell down the Hyper token.
Yeah, I was wondering because I am launching a stake mining and staking protocol, but it's paying out in AwesomeX. Staking payouts are in AwesomeX. So probably will be the same kind of, if you guys wanted to somehow, can you add protocols? Because you're launching soon. Okay, you could add protocols later.
That's like a big key component to what this is like we're not just done with what it is right now. Like anything that's coming out in the future, we can enter those stake pools. We've built this in a modular design, so we're launching with like 12 contracts. So it's complex, but like, so whenever you come out with a protocol that has staking, we can now design a staking contract built around your protocol specifically, and then just insert it into our, collage of contracts and just point to it, and then bam, we're in it. And so like, it's basically just insert new staking contract over and over into there. And then all the payouts just get pointed to our distribution contract, and everything just runs smoothly. Like from the user's end, you just hold an NFT. There's literally nothing you have to do. And like, where are we getting the funds to enter these new contracts? Well, we've got a compounding feature. So it starts high at like 80% and then rolls down to 20% over time. But even it just stays flat at 20% in the long run. So what does that
mean? What is a compounding feature?
I missed that. Say that again.
What is that? What is a compounding feature? Can you hear me? Check.
I can take this part of it.
All right.
So basically, all the staking pools, right, will pay out different time frames through all the protocols.
Yeah, right. Okay, that makes sense.
And then we have the rewards.
Right.
So when we get the staking rewards from all these protocols, that is the money in our system, right? That will never leave. So we're going to take 80% of that money and we're going to reinvest it into more staking so that we can grow our position.
Nice.
But
Okay.
we're not going to keep it at 80%. We have 9-day payout cycles and 9-day staking cycles. So what we're going to do is every 9-day cycle, we reduce that by 2%. And the buy and burn is correlated with that 2%. So after the first 9 days, we will reinvest 78%. Well, then we kick that 2% to the buy and burn. After the second, now we're at 76%, and we kick another 2%. We're kicking 4% to the buy and burn, and we will do that until we get all the way down to only 20% that we reinvest. And there's reasons for that. We're not trying to come in and take over every protocol. We don't want to do that. We want to be a benevolent whale in these protocols, because we're never going to sell. We're going to stake. We're never going to sell. We're only going to market buy, which pumps price, right? So let's take Blaze, for instance. We're market buying Blaze. Well, what happens when price goes up on Blaze? Well, your auction ROI is now going up, right? Because the token's worth a lot more. So if you were going into your auctions before and you were only getting 100, 150, whatever ROI, well, we pump that price, and all of a sudden you're getting 200, 230, 240. It should drive auction participation. So anyway, we're taking that percentage down, and we'll stay at 20% forever, and we're spread out across multiple protocols. And as we add more, it's still just that 20%, right, that's going through. But 60% is going to the buy and burn on a cap supply token that was only mintable for 28 days. As long as TitanX is around and all these staking protocols are around and they're paying off, 60% buy and burn on that token forever.
Wow.
So I really love that part. That's my favorite part of the protocol, really. And then, of course, Jake came out with X28, and we were like, oh no, we got to use this somehow. And so that's why we decided to push all that TitanX that we're getting from the staking payouts through X28, because it's a 50% buy and burn. If you can throw that in your protocol somewhere, man, if something like this that's just constantly buying and constantly staking, and you're pushing all that through X28, take a lot of TitanX supply off the market, man.
Right. Definitely. Wow. Yeah, I love it. I mean, I got my E280, NFTs. I definitely got to get some STAX NFTs. I like I like making money on my, my crypto. I like having my crypto in places that earn yield. And so that's really one of the reasons I love E280, because, and in the beginning, I'm sure everything's going to start picking up as all the, as the market kind of picks up, that the arb trading is probably going to pick up even more. But in the beginning, those payouts were stupid, man. They were epic. I mean, they're a little bit right now, but it's still a little bit better than nothing. And I think they will pick up.
You got to think of it like it's a store of value. Like you're holding a deflationary token, like any like Inferno. Yeah, it's a store of value, and it's deflating, but you're not getting any rewards off of that, and you're happy just holding a token that's on its own. Or like you're built on DragonX, like everyone loves DragonX. You're not earning any rewards on that. You're just hoping for price appreciation of the token. Right. Whereas like E280, you are holding that token, but you're also getting rewarded with more tokens while you're waiting for price appreciation. So to me, it's like, even if it's small, it's still more than what you could get on something else.
I totally agree. Like we are innovating in the TitanX community. When I say we, I mean the TitanX community are innovating on so many levels, and hybrid NFTs is one of those levels. I don't think there's anyone else in the crypto space pushing hybrid NFTs to the level that we are right now. With Rudy getting them started, and then you jumping in, And then, you know, AwesomeX has a hybrid NFT right now, but it's basically just a store of value right now until the other protocols come out. And then I'm actually building a staking feature for the hybrid NFTs right now. So if people want to stake their hybrids, then there's going to be small reward pools in all of the protocols built on AwesomeX. They're going to fill up that staking pool and be able to pay people out, pay stakers out once a month. I believe it's going to be once a month. We'll figure it out. But you're doing you're doing every 9 days, and there's only one rhythm every 9 days.
Yeah.
Cool. So some of these actually, though, it's going to benefit people to get into this and hold for the long term, because really some of the bigger payouts are going to be a little while. You know, some of these bigger payouts are actually like these 8 days, you know, they're smaller. I mean, if you can get into some new protocols and get some early 8-day payouts, then those will be bigger. But then it's like now those 48 days or 69 days or like 88 days or 420 days, you know, when you start hitting those payouts, they're still really full.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that's another point that we were trying to talk about is this consistent payouts through this. Like you might have protocols that dry up for a few months and then come back. Well, like while a protocol is dry, you've got 3 other protocols that are paying out. So as a STAX holder, you're getting consistent payouts because at least one of them is doing well, you know, and like you're not just sitting there with nothing coming in. That consistency is there.
Cool. Right. That makes sense. Totally. Yeah. Like sometimes like waiting, and then it's like, but this one, it's like every 9 days, maybe something should be paying out. I mean, maybe it's not a lot every a certain 9 days, but like something. Sometimes you're waiting, you know, a good 100 days for another payout if you're just waiting in one protocol.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like Hyper, it's 88. I think it's the fastest. There's only 2 pools and one of them is 88. Like that's like, if you're in that pool, you're only getting paid every 88 days, you know, whereas this, it's, you know, a little bit here and there every time, but then that big one comes and like you're getting that. So
in Draco, it's 8, 28, and 88. So there's 3 payouts every 8 days, 28 days, and 88 days. So we didn't really make the payouts any longer than that. But you know, I kind of like that. We didn't do any kind of diamond hand clubs or anything like that. But the cool thing is too with Draco. So Drogon is coming on top of Draco, and Drogon is gonna be it's basically what I was trying to do this whole time, this mining and staking loop, but I couldn't really figure it out because I would have to sell down tokens in order to re-input them for the mining. But that's why ultimately why one of the reasons Draco exists is because AwesomeX comes in and AwesomeX pays out. And so now when AwesomeX pays out, I could immediately re-mine that. And so with Drogon's fascinating because Drogon is going to mine and stake infinitely in Draco. It's even going to be mining when it's negative ROI, which I was processing if I should do it that way or not, but I am doing it that way. And the reason I'm doing it that way is because even during negative ROI, stakers are going to there's going to be inputs coming in. There's going to be mining going through, and it will benefit stakers, all of the stakers, because if they won't just be dry. So it'll constantly be inputting mines and it'll constantly be staking max. So, you know, the idea is, yes, it will dilute stakers, but it will increase the staker payouts and hopefully allow the staker payouts to always pay out.
Right. Like if there's nothing to pay out, who cares if you're not getting diluted? Like, because there's nothing to dilute.
Right.
But if it's coming in and diluting, but it's stimulating the payouts, like now you're getting something, even if it's diluted. It's better than nothing. So yeah, I think it's good.
We have a hybrid NFT also in Drogon, the one on top with the loop. Drogon, there is no staking in Drogon. There's mining, but there's only mining. There's max mining, 88-day max miners only for 28 days. So for 28 days, you could start a max. You could start any kind of miner, but you could do a max miner for 88 days up to day 28. On day 28, you can still start an 88-day max miner if you want. But then on day 29, there's no more mining. So, it'll actually at that point it'll move to a perpetual auction daily. But the hybrid NFT. So there is no staking though in this protocol, but there's multi-collateral growing hybrids is what I'm calling them, which is it's just another name for really what you're doing in different protocols. It's getting a hybrid and allowing it to fill up with multiple different tokens. And then if you want to burn it, you get all your tokens. Now in Drogon though, there will not basically 28-day cap supply for the token, but for the NFTs, it's 125 days before cap supply, only because I want the people that max mine on day 28 to still have 11 days to buy an NFT after they claim their max mines. And then, so those max miners on day 28 are still going to be able to enter the multi-collateral growing hybrids for 11 days before the NFTs are capped. But once the NFTs are capped, only burning of NFTs is allowed. So, but yeah, I think Drogon would probably actually even help STAX. It'll really help all the stakers in Draco to get more consistent payouts as well. So anyways, so if you guys can build on Draco, I mean, dude, let's do that.
What kind of timeline are we on this? On what you're talking about?
I'll let you know. You know, I actually,
like it.
The reason I say that is because I made some changes. This is all on me here. I go through the white paper and I'm like, oh man, I gotta, you know, I get another idea and I change it and then I tell my dev and he's like, oh great, here we go. So then it's like I made like 4 or 5 changes and he's like, yeah, that's we're gonna need a couple more weeks here. So I'm like, okay. It's okay. You know, I want it to be what it needs to be. And I do want it to come out as soon as possible. It's not going to be this year. It's going to be in January, most likely. And so, but that's okay. It's going to be great. And then, but see, the idea is that Draco comes out and then like a week later, Drogon comes out. So I want to kind of like stagger them quickly if possible. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. And there's another staking protocol coming out actually that we're doing too with Alpha. It's Alpha 28. It was Alpha X, but Alpha 28 is our Launchpad project that we're doing with I can't say who yet, but we will be saying who very soon, which everybody's gonna be so stoked because it's good. But that's gonna come out right around Draco and Drogon. So there'll be another staking protocol as well for STAX.
Nice. Yeah.
And Alpha is going to have the lowest supply of anything we've ever seen especially on our ecosystem, but pretty much lowest supply in probably all of crypto.
Yeah. Okay. I love it.
Yeah. It's crazy. I can't wait to share.
Mean, honestly, you know, we want STAX to be good for the ecosystem, to be good for everybody. I mean, with the fact we're going to be burning a ton of Titan X, that helps the whole ecosystem. The fact that we're paired with E280 and we're putting a lot of buy pressure on E280 also helps. You know, because you saw what E280 did for the ecosystem.
Oh God!
When it first launched, it pumped the whole freaking ecosystem. You know.
So how are you putting buy pressure on E280 through STAX?
We buy E280 first on our buy and burn.
Oh, before you burn it.
Yeah, we buy E280 and then we use that to burn our STAX.
Then you buy STAX and burn it. Oh, cool. That's kind of like the Dragon X in the middle of Awesome X is like I route through that to burn Awesome X using the Titan X. So you're going to, wow, yeah, right on. Because you add a ton of buy pressure, which adds more volume to the chart as well. Are you going to have taxes in this LP?
No tax, yeah. I mean, you're paying the E280 taxes.
I mean, I'm not trading. If you're trading it, you're paying them.
Yeah.
I'm not selling. I'm not trading. I'm holding my E280, man.
Yeah, I'm the same way. These are perfect for just being so easy and so convenient. Just mint you some NFTs and sock them away, you know, and let them do their thing. And if you're managing portfolios for other people, you don't have to go into all these staking protocols. I mean, to manage all these stakes would be a nightmare. And if you just mint the NFT, you got the exposure that you need, you know.
It actually is a nightmare. You're totally right on that.
Yeah.
I don't really want to stake in any protocols anymore for the most part. But I am staking, but I see what you guys are doing and I'm loving it. Now, if you guys launch soon, Eden just filled up more stuff in their pools, man. Eden's pools are getting juicy. Like there's like 500 billion Titan X in the Eden 48-day payout pool right now. Ooh. And I think there's going to be more added because he's pulling out the stakes from Lotus, and then they're reminting Eden with it and then burning the Eden they mint. But when they mint the Eden, it sends it to all the payout pools. So
yeah, he has some pretty juicy pools going on over there. I mean, no doubt STAX going to be a participant, but there's a balance there, right? We got to be respectful and not try to go in and dominate anybody or anything like that. But yeah, we definitely want a piece of that pie, and we want to be market buy. We have to market buy to do it, right? That's the cool thing about it. We buy and never sell.
That's
so
another
we market buy.
So okay, so explain that. So in order to get into these protocols and stake, when Titan X comes in, you're now having an allocation that goes to each one of these protocols, and that allocation is Titan X, and that allocation is going to market buy each one of these protocols.
Correct.
It'll be like a buy and burn, but instead it's a buy and stake. So
buy and stake.
Yeah. So, you know, we really want to find that balance, right? Where we're benefiting, we are taking some staking payouts, but we are market buying, and we never stop market buying. This is a benevolent well that will market buy your token and never sell it.
I love the sound of that. I mean, we see how good the buy and burns are working with E280 right now. I mean, Awesome X still has a crap ton in the E280 buy and burn. But every time it triggers, you know, the liquidity pool is so thin that it actually does have an effect on the chart. It does create a green candle whenever E280 triggers on Awesome X.
Oh, for sure.
There's still firepower left. You're going to be the last man standing.
Billion. I know, dude. I'm like, I'm going to be the only one burning. Not me, but like Awesome X. But yeah, man, E280 is genius, and STAX is genius too. It's just another, it's a staking derivative, you know, and I'm just so fascinated how all this innovation is happening right now. Like we're creating all of these new innovative things in this ecosystem and then releasing them into the wild and seeing how everything plays together. Now with the hyperdeflation happening, I mean, and all the burning and going through X28, I mean, like I just was watching that stream that you jumped on, that Jake stream, and it's like, man, those stats are insane right now. I mean, we have, let me just go to it really quick. We have, maybe I'll just share the screen. I think I have a screen up here. Titan X. All right, we're at the hub right now. Let's go to Titan X website. Check this out. We have more Titan X burned than we have circulating right now. This is like crazy, actually. And circulating includes staked. It's liquid, staked, and now BOT. I wonder what this.
I think that's like including like what's in LPs, like it's
Okay.
stuff that we have. Like HLX has Titan X in our buy and burn. Like that's
Mm.
not locked up, but it's owned by our protocol.
Oh, that makes
So
sense.
yeah,
And then it has the other one. The total burned is a burned by BOT. So there is two
yeah,
things here: burned by BOT and then buy and burn. So those are adding up there, and then circulating is liquid staked and the stuff locked up in BOT protocols. So yeah, I mean, check that out. It's 110 trillion and 113 trillion total burned. I mean,
yeah.
it's really, really bullish when I'm looking at this. And this number was flipped just a few days ago. Like this was total circulating was more than total burn just a few days ago.
Yeah, X28 is gonna just like rip this Titan X up. You know, like 50% of it getting burned for every bit of it that routes through X28. Like it's massive, and we haven't even launched on other chains yet. Like, and I myself am ready to build on base. So the second, like,
Sweet.
yeah, like there's, yeah,
Now, when
and
you
that's
build
just
on base, will you be building on base? You'll be using X28 as your input, but you're going to be built on base. Is that right or no?
Likely, yeah. If it's not X28, then it's H420, which is, you know, omni-chain Helios coming soon.
Ooh, dang.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, that's the thing. Once we start building, it will never stop. It will never stop. I don't even know what's on your slate, bro. How many projects are on your slate?
1, 2, 3. If we're not counting STAX, three more.
Three additional ones that are in the slate after STAX.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh my gosh, bro. I love it.
Yeah.
You're building a whole universe, a whole Helios universe.
And like I'm like you, like what you're saying, like I made a change and that's delaying the protocol. Like that's beautiful. Like if you're making something better, like you don't need to rush it to market. Like a better protocol is going to be better than just an okay protocol that launches sooner.
Yeah.
And so like I intended on launching Wind Vaults like 3 months ago.
That's right. I remember about that. So is that still in the slate?
Oh yeah. It's still one of my favorites. I still think it's gonna be the shit. But like there's still like upgrades going on, and ultimately what I decided is like Wind Vaults was always gonna be multi-chain, and I decided it makes the most sense to have H420 launch first so that I can include that in Wind Vaults across all these chains. So like it was going to indirectly support Helios just by, adding funds to our treasury. But now I'm looking at it actually including our token in addition to that. So like this is, I'm excited for it. But again, it's a long ways out. Like I'll be honest, like it's still in design phase. Like I'm not going to start development until I'm like, fuck yes, let's go.
I'm learning that too. Like I'm making sure these white paper. I'm like, look, guys, let's just dial these white papers all the way and let's rip them apart. Keep ripping them apart. Keep dialing them in, and then when they're perfectly ready, when we're all like, yes, then we go to dev. Because I tried to push that dev. It's like let's get it into dev, right? But then it's like, as my brain works and crypto moves so fast, and it's like, oh gosh, but this, then I make the changes, and it not only costs more, it delays what we were expecting. So it's more efficient. It's kind of like when you make a movie, if you have like an outline for a script, you better not be shooting that movie yet. You better have a dialed in script, you got to know exact, because it's basically the map before the war. So it's like you have to have your map before the war, because if you get into the war without the map or like a idea of a map, you're gonna die. Like it's not gonna work. Like if you're improving a movie, it's not gonna be a great movie. There was literally zero improv in The Matrix. That was like all exactly written. Like the director's like, no, You say what's on the page. We developed that thing for years. You're not
Yeah.
changing those words as an actor. And it's like some movies will improv, but that's kind of the thing here. It's like if we're kind of trying to change, improv while we're building this stuff, it's not good for the devs, because the devs are just like swimming in code. Like they can't have improv stuff. They need to know exactly what's going on, and it needs to be locked and clear for them. So I'm moving that way now. After Draco, when I made all those changes, I'm like, guys, no, for Alpha, we need to make sure this is like 100% dialed in. Yeah. Everybody's on board with it. We all agree, and then we move forward. So
it's really tough to do.
It is,
like you were saying, you've said some things, man, that I just resonate with, and that's why I'm like, yeah, I'm a fanboy. I'm Awesome Dave's biggest fan. But
thanks, brother.
You talk about like when you get into crypto, we pay our tuition, right? Like we come in, we buy tops, we get wrecked, we round trip, we don't know what we're doing. We pay our tuition. Well, now we're paying builder tuition, right?
Yeah.
We're making changes. It causes delays. It costs more money. Your devs get pissed off. God forbid you're in audit. Because if you're in audit, then you're really in trouble, right? And so, but it's hard to do because so many things get improved on in Titan X from the builders. Like something comes out and it's like, oh my God, we need to incorporate that, And Jake sprung X28 on us, and sure as shit, me and dude, I think we talked like it was like immediate, like, okay, we got to incorporate this somehow, just because it's a 50% burn and we need to utilize it. And so we had to pay extra money, change some code, you know what I mean? And do these
worth
things.
It.
And it's worth it. Sometimes you just have to do certain things if the opportunity is there, and it is what it is. But it's hard.
There's actually no choice, because like even before these other projects launch, when I'm watching everybody's streams and I'm like, oh crap, that's a great mechanic. I'm like looking at my wife here like, oh crap, how do I integrate that? And but then I gotta like not always do that. but yeah, you're right. That's what happened to Flair, because Smooth was saying that he didn't have the X28 piece, but then X28 came out. He was mid dev. He was actually almost to audits, and he's like, guys, we got to stop for a second, and I need to integrate this. And so it did that pushed him back. I don't even know when. I don't think we have a timeline for Flair yet, but it definitely pushed him back. But now I love the idea of Flair, man. I'm like, gosh, he took the Awesome X model, the Inferno model, and like took it to the moon. I'm like, bro, this is such a great idea. The auction in the middle of the week. So yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, shout out to Smooth for doing that. You know what I mean? Because he didn't have to.
And crypto moves so damn fast. You have to pivot.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, and the fact that he did that, I mean, it says a lot about him. Says a lot about the protocol, because there was an opportunity. It cost him more money and more time, but there was an opportunity to burn a hell of a lot more Titan X, and he went that route. So shout out to him.
Yeah, I mean, for Awesome X, you're right. A week in crypto is like a minimum of a month in the real world, probably sometimes like 2 months in the real world. But like with Awesome X minting every Friday, it's like, well, everybody gets busy during the week and they kind of like forget about the next Friday mint. I'm like, well, I forgot. I didn't realize that jumping in. It's like, you got to do that daily. You got to have that daily game people can participate in, which is why I love what Steve innovated, which is the daily perpetual auctions on cap supplies. I'm like, gosh, the Volt mechanic is epic. It's like blows my mind, because that is really keeps people engaged all the time, every day, and it never stops. And then it's a cap supply and it never stops. I'm like, man, we are just innovating on levels. I don't even know I don't know what's coming next, because Steve's got other stuff in his head too, and so do you.
Yeah, dude. Steve's a serial. He's got so many ideas. Like he's around for the long haul, no doubt.
Yeah.
He actually DM'd me yesterday, just out of the blue, asked if I wanted to stream in that. It was really good to hear from him. I sure like Steve. But yeah, that dude's a creative genius.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll tell you stories from being in the Blaze, our private chat. and just how like I would come back in the chat after not being on it for a few hours, and like there's a new topic, and that topic is some protocol that he thought up, and this is the name for it, and this is kind of what it does, and I'm like, what's this? And now these things would just show up, and I would be like, oh my god, what are we doing? You know what I mean? And then Josh Bad Sports would jump in there, and they would start just going at it, and with the tokenomics and stuff. And I'd be like, Allie, help, they're doing it again. I don't even know what we're doing. Like, can we get this project launched first and then focus on this stuff? But people,
man, what a powerhouse group of builders we got in this community. And everybody's so freaking badass too. Like, everybody's so awesome and like super cool. And yeah, man, I'm like, just I was led here somehow because I wanted to build, and there's nowhere else I would build. I'm glad I could possibly build on Base now. And what Jake was talking about on Base, the positive thing about Base is that's where we could do some on-chain games if we want to do gaming, GameFi, because now the gas fees are so cheap. So the on-chain might actually work for certain games. Like, that's why I guess the Terra X didn't do on-chain for all of it, is because of the gas fees. It actually would pretty much prevent a handful of the gameplay mechanics from happening. But yeah, Base is like, I want to build on Base. Plus, I wonder if that could somehow reinvigorate like the ones Rudy did up on Base, because Rudy, during the dark times of Titan X, which maybe we're seeing some more dark times right now, but the dark months, he went over to Base and built a couple hybrid NFT projects, which did pretty well for a period of time. But then he saw the light, came back to Titan X. It's like, I wonder if we could reinvigorate those somehow with the multi-chain aspect of Titan X opening up. I don't know.
Yeah, I find myself always having to be like, this is too complicated. I need to simplify this and that, and it's always like gas optimizations. Like, that would be cool. No, we need to simplify it. It's too much gas. Like, now, like, going to Base, like I'm excited to do these intricate ideas that I have, and not worry about gas, and like, oh, it's a 3-cent transaction as opposed to a 2-cent. Like, oh well, like a 50% increase in gas is only a couple of pennies. Like,
totally.
And it's going to attract all those newbies.
I participated day one in all his other stuff over on Base too. Yeah. And like, literally I had $20 of ETH in my wallet for Base, and I never had to refill it. And I was like trading back and forth and boom. I was like, it's like 8 cents here, like 12 cents, 3 cents. Like, this is amazing, because now it just allows you to it could allow people really to get wrecked because they could trade too much in one sense. But if you know what you're doing, it's just fun. It's more fun because you could do a lot more. And I don't even want to see how many fees I paid in gas since the beginning of the year in my wallets, man, on ETH. Goodness gracious. I remember minting day one in Helios. I was like a $60 mint. Like, every one of them, all my maxes that I did, like $60, $100. Even my Dragon X hybrids, man, it was like $60, $100 per hybrid.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever.
I'm still happy that like our Base is on Ethereum. Like, if you want a successful chain, it has to bridge back to Ethereum to even compete with what's going on. So us having the foundation on Ethereum and then expanding out to all these other chains, like, to me, that's the way to go. Like, I'm really happy with that process, and we can reach out and get more people, but it's still, the foundation is on like the mountain of a chain, Ethereum. Like, do you really think anybody's going to overtake Ethereum as far as like, I mean, I could see Ethereum overtaking Bitcoin at this point.
I know. I could see that. No, you're right. That's what Jake on that new Titan X website. Oh, here, let's just look at that real quick. On share screen. So we're going to go to titanx.win, but it's not going to say app in front of it. So you just go to titanx.win. Boom. This new homepage is pretty sweet. But this is what he's saying. It's a L1 within an L1, which totally is very cool. Here we go. The old L1 model versus the new Titan X model, which is a layer 1 on top of a layer 1, which hasn't existed yet. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's existed yet. Because there's like, we're on ETH. That is the layer 1, but Titan X is now a layer 1 because there's freaking 40. I mean, how many? There's 27 launched projects, and there's 22. Look, Drogon just got on here. There's 22. How many is that? 27 and 22, 49. 49 build on Titan X protocols coming.
That's crazy.
And there's a whole bunch that are not on here yet.
Right. Yeah, like including what I'm trying to do, which is not on Ethereum. Yeah, none of that's listed. So, and we're just attracting, like, there's that snowball effect of where we gain momentum and we attract more builders, and then they want to come in and join the party. And like, this is, I'm so excited for the first half of next year. Like, I mean, there's no inflation. We've made it through like all of the hard times. Like, I don't care what the price is right now. Like the tokenomics, like the indicators that we're looking at are just amazing.
Yeah. I mean, exactly.
So
Let's just look at that really quick too, because I don't really care about inflation either. Well, no, I'm sorry. I don't care about price right now because we are out of the inflation. We are actually in hyper deflation right now because we're burning like 400 billion Titan X every single day, which is like 2 days. We basically 2.5 days, we burn 1 trillion Titan X, and that's only going to keep going up. I think so. You know, I mean, 30 days, 30 trillion. No, 30 days, 10 trillion, something like that, gone. But, you know, 3-4 months, I mean, really, there's not going to be much Titan X left, especially after freaking 60-70 protocols are launched.
Yeah.
And with X28, you know, really kicking in that the hyper the nitrous oxide boost. It's really, I think, and once we get over on, well, once we go multi-chain, those are X28 transactions. So in order to even get to the multi-chain side, people got to get Titan X to get X28, or they can just buy X28 on the market, right? But when they do that, there's a tax. Is that right?
No, there's no tax, but the second you buy X28 off the market, it pushes the ratio up above 1-to-1, and now people can mint X28 with their Titan X for 1-to-1, sell their X28, get all of their Titan X back plus some. So, and when they do that, they're burning half of what they run through. It gets burned. So that's the whole thing with X28, and that's the vision I see, is like people start building on X28, that drives demand for X28, and then that keeps pushing the ratio up above that 1-to-1. People then mint with their Titan X, burning a bunch of it, and just that keeps that cycle running. And as Titan X deflates, it pushes up, you know, the rising tide lifts all the boats. Every protocol in the ecosystem is now going up in value. They're now getting more value running through their protocol, and now they're able to burn more Titan X themselves, and it's just this perfect circular loop. Like it's I'm so bullish on this. So bullish.
I'm so bullish too. I mean, look, you're already, I mean, how many protocols have you built? Helios,
Giannis.
Oh, I forgot about Giannis. That's right. You built that too.
Yeah.
Helios, Giannis, E280, STAX, and there's another one.
369.
5 protocols already, dude.
Yeah.
Dude. I love that, bro.
Yeah. I've got some bangers still coming. No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah.
So Utah, this is your Utah, you were involved in Blaze early on, And so now this is your next project, right? Is that right?
Yeah. So Blaze, Inferno,
Okay,
and then
Inferno too. Okay, gotcha.
Stacks.
And
You know,
Stacks.
and I'm like
Nice.
you. I'm like you. None of this was supposed to happen, right? It not on. Let me rephrase that. Maybe it was supposed to happen, but it wasn't part of my plan, right? Like I joined a mastermind. I'd never even been on Telegram before. I joined Jake's mastermind because I knew crypto had potential, but I needed to learn how to play the game. So I didn't round trip, and I just need to learn more about it. And so I joined the mastermind, and then one thing led to another, and then here we are, right? And then after Blazing Inferno, I said I wasn't going to build any more protocols, and well, then E280 came out, right? E280 came out, and I fell in love with it, and I was so inspired by it. And then, like almost immediately, I had this idea. I was like, you know what? What if we had an NFT that represent, that gave you exposure to all the staking pools? Then I just DM'd dude and he's like, I love it. And it's like we just started going. But I think it's really cool to be like cross pollinating kind of between, different founders and different teams. And
Yeah,
I mean,
I
it's
agree.
pretty cool stuff, man. It's really awesome. I've always really looked up to dude. I felt like dude's done a lot of very cool things. In E280, of course, that proved it, right? I love E280.
Me too.
Um, and it's going to be a ripper once we get some more volume going through this ecosystem. That's all it's going to take. And then here we go. I'm super stoked.
Because it's cap supply now on NFTs and on tokens. On
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And people are burning NFTs like all the damn time.
Are they?
Oh yeah.
How many NFTs we got left? Do we know?
Oh yeah. We are. So I've got the. Let's go to. We've got a bot that Mike Dean wrote that shows like the daily stats. NFTs burned is up to 45%. So almost half of the NFT supply is burned.
Oh, that's bullish for all of us. They're
Yeah.
holding.
And then
Yeah.
the token's at 52%.
How many how many NFTs do we have out there? Do you know that? Like on each tier?
Yeah, there's 9,260 total. The top tier legendary amped, there's 256.
256.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm pretty sure I don't have more than one of those. I wanted to get two, but I only got one. But then I got multiple of the other one, the middle one.
So in the last 24 hours, there's been 3 burns, and like 3 transactions. So in one of them, that's 4 commons that were burned on this one. Let's see, this one's got 14 commons that were burned. No, 13 commons and a rare. And then this one is 4 commons. So we've seen legendaries getting burned. We've seen like the full spectrum. And if you're in our chat, like they're all, every time a burn is like they're cheering it on, like woo. Like their share of the rewards pool is just going up. Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing, dude. I love that. How cool.
And that's one of the. Go ahead.
And the same thing's going to happen with STAX,
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about STAX is it's running on staking payouts. Yeah. Sorry, my dog's over here freaking out. Chill, Nina. Anyway, it's running on those staking payouts, and they're going to go straight to that buy and burn. And once the NFTs are minted, that's it. You're never getting any more. So I think the value could really, really go up on these, and it might take a little while. Like you said, there's times between the big payouts and that, but this thing's like a locomotive, man. It's just going to keep running and just keep running forever.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because you're built on these, like you're building product. This is what I'm like. The idea, the Dragon X idea is a protocol that brings in income over time. It doesn't just rely on user participation in order for income to come into the protocol. So even in those times when maybe there's not as much user participation or user increase, there's still income coming into the protocol to perpetuate the protocol. So now I think that's what kind of most of the builders, a lot of the builders like you guys are doing right now, is building protocols that have income generation built within them. Well, the protocol generates income to keep it moving. So it's not always based upon bringing in a massive amount of users so the protocol perpetuates. So that's really what I mean, yeah, when users come in, that's definitely an amazing thing and something that we should for sure push. But certain, like, I think what we're building, and we'll see, but I think it's multi-cycle stuff. I think what we're building is multi-cycle. I don't think what we're building is just flash in the pan, single cycle things. Especially because if we're looking at next cycle, there's literally not going to be any Titan-X left. Like, I don't know how that's going to all play out during the full, 4-year cycle type thing, but there's not going to be any Titan-X left. And when it becomes profitable again to mine, like, even if we got, Jake was saying, even if we got the same participation as day one on ETH, that would only mint like 10 trillion Titan-X with the same ETH participation. So it's like, that's not even going to really add much inflation on a full, whenever miners become profitable again. Plus, we don't even, and it's not profitable yet, right? So we're in hyperdeflation. Well, once long-term miners, max miners become profitable again, we still have 280 days of no supply. Like, I mean, it's like, I don't know. I'm so bullish, as you could hear in my voice. But I'm very excited to be a part of this ecosystem. I feel really blessed to be among you, dude, as a builder, and you, Utah, and like the whole, Blaze, actually all the builders, like every builder in this ecosystem. I'm just like being peers among peers of you guys. I'm like, dude, this is sweet.
Man, like, you guys are my people.
I
you know what I mean? Because no coiners, like, out in the real world, you know what I mean? No coiners, like, I don't click with those guys, like, I'm not, like, this is where I like to hang out, seriously, because
I
if
know.
you're here and you're like, even just being in the crypto and being in the ecosystem, even if you're not building, if you're just here, we got something in common, right? We're all risk takers. We all have vision. Well, most of us. There's some Jeets out there, don't get me wrong, but we know there's a different way, and we're really willing to do our part to try to make that different way something better, And I don't see anybody spending this kind of money building a protocol thinking this is going to be a single cycle deal. I know, for me it's not.
I agree.
For me it's not.
It's not for me either. And exactly, we're going to be here for the long haul. Jake's going to be here for the long haul. Eric's here for the long haul. All of us are here for the long haul, really. I mean, it's like, I really think that this is a long-term thing, and I'm excited that it is, because I don't want it to just be something quick in and out, like gone. I don't want to do that stuff. Like, I'm building for the future, and I think we all are. But
yeah, I'm in that same camp.
We have 152 people on the stream right now, so thank you guys for joining. Yes. If you guys have any questions, please put them in the chats. So dude, what else you want to mention here?
So we went over auto compounding, liquid staking, the get longer pays better / access to premier pools. Like, I think you kind of touched on it. Like, you don't have to be like, you have to max stake to get all those max bonuses. But with this, you can just hold a liquid token and get a piece of those premier pools. You can be a Blaze diamond hand holder without having to actually stake your 4,000 Blaze.
Where am I looking in the white paper here?
Just go to the overview, that front top page. I feel like these bullet points on the front are really the best overview.
So, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, you're right. Access to premier pools, like diamond hand and stuff like that. Are you going to be able to get into the Blaze diamond hand pool and stuff like that?
Yeah, and Flux has a 777 payout that there's some hurdles for you to get into that. Like, what you don't have to worry about any of that. Like, we will make sure we get into those pools, and you can hop in and out of the token as you want. Now, obviously, if you want to hold the NFT, it's a little hop in and out of the NFT, but the token itself, you can. Then yeah, more consistent payouts and adaptable to stay current with new staking protocols. Like, think about with the next big protocol that comes out on base, like, and it's doing amazing and it has staking. We can go over there and stake in that pool and bring that X28 back to Ethereum and use that to buy and burn stacks, pay our NFT holders. So like, we're always going to stay relevant with anything new that's coming out. Like, we're not going to just fade away. Like, we're always, that was very important why we wanted to include X28 in our protocol, because that's going to help us stay current.
So wait, hold on. So how do Helios stakers get paid out better? Like, can you talk about that?
You're talking
benefit somehow from
we're putting together a vote, so that's not set in stone yet. But we have Titan-X. We have like 300 billion Titan-X in our treasury, liquid. And so we're putting together a DAO vote to use those funds to mint STAX NFTs as the treasury. And then, so as the treasury, we will hold a bunch of STAX NFTs. And through that, we will be earning X28 through the STAX protocol. And then with that X28, now we're able to pay HLX stakers and feed the HLX buy and burn. Yes.
Ooh, so yes. HLX stakers will somehow, possibly, if the DAO vote goes through, be able to also get X28 payouts?
With nothing needed on your end. Like, I know you're a staker in HLX, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You literally do nothing. We're just going to add an additional button on the website that says claim X28.
All right. I like the sound of that.
And it's, so this is a staking V2 contract that we're building that will accept any ERC20 token. So we can now pay out HLX stakers and Awesome X and Inferno, like Dragon X, any of these tokens, we can pay out HLX stakers in. So we're looking to become the central for that.
Look at your treasury here. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Dude, this is getting full.
Yeah. People don't even know. They don't even know.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So yeah,
you got $10,000 worth of Awesome X in here.
Oh, and we're still accumulating. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's a good time to accumulate right now. Yeah, and you have 1.3 trillion Titan X staked. So you so you got a payout on 369.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Helios did. And what happens with that payout?
So the Titan X treasury, 70% is going to our buy and burn.
And
we did that because like that was our first treasury, and the buy and burn was very important to us. Yeah, we've ran through a lot of those funds. We've got 5 ETH left.
Wow.
Yeah, like, and only 10% of that went to stakers, and then 20% went to that investment pool. So you can see we've got 70K in Ethereum sitting there liquid as well.
Whoa.
So
$177,000 of Titan X, like 321 billion.
Yeah.
Wow. And so what is the investment pool? Like, what is this?
Whatever the DAO wants to do with it. Like, as long as it's supporting HLX. So that's what we're trying to put forth through in our next DAO vote, is utilizing the Titan X to mint STAX NFTs, and then just diamond hand STAX NFTs and earn X28. And then we're going to use half of that to pay stakers in X28. So now you're earning, like, even if no mining is going on in Helios, because currently Titan X and ETH, well, the Titan X is coming from mining. The ETH is coming from Titan X mining. So the X28 is going to be coming from all of the other stake pools. And that's the beautiful part, is like, that's going to be, now stakers are getting 3 different tokens from 3 different avenues of income. And so we're looking to be more consistent with our staking payouts as well. So,
I like X stats too. Here, go ahead and say what you're going to say, and I'll say mine later. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then what we're looking at doing with the rest of these tokens is pairing them with Element 280 and adding to the LPs to just thicken up all of the E280 LPs, because we have a 89 billion Element 280. So we can like really pair all these up with all these and just let it sit as an LP. And then at any point we decide we want to use these funds for something else, we can pull that LP and then use them. But instead of just letting them sit here, we can earn some trading fees on them in the meantime.
That's a great idea. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I love having this. Yeah. I'm, you definitely saw the future by adding this investment pool and the treasury and stuff like that. You were my inspiration for adding the treasury in AwesomeX, but it allows me to build and continually build, which is great. But yeah. And then, oh man, that's great.
Yeah.
Utah,
yeah. I'm super excited. Huh?
What do you got, Utah? What do you want to talk about?
Oh, I just want to bring up something that we forgot to mention. Dude added a couple different amplifier bonuses on STAX that weren't there on E280. So we might want to talk about those.
Yeah, let's check those out. So
go to the NFT specs.
NFT specs.
Yeah. You can just like click on that chart right there in the middle. There we go.
Okay, so what are we looking at here?
So if you remember with E280, we had the regular and the amped version. And the amplifier was an additional cost, like 10% additional cost,
right?
But 20% increase in rewards. And everybody loved that. Like if you look at the E280 stats, like 4 times as many people minted amped NFTs over regular ones. So we decided to like, let's crank it up some more. So now we've got 2 more tiers. So with the same ratios. So like we've got the super NFT where it's a 20% increase in cost, but 40% increase in rewards. And then we got the LFG where it's 50% increase in cost and 100% increase in rewards. So the kicker is like your NFT backing does not increase. So if you're looking to burn your NFT, like you're not getting that 1-to-1 anymore on your tokens, because like if you mint a LFG legendary, you're paying 15 billion Titan X, but you're only getting 10 billion in STAX. But if you're not going to burn your NFT, if you just want the rewards forever, you don't care about the backing, right? Like you want, now you're getting 200x over 100x. You're getting twice the rewards for half the additional costs. Like you're paying 50% more, but you're getting 100% in rewards. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. So LFG now is kind of like your amped in E280, and amped is kind of like the common in a way. Oh no, you still have common, rare, and legendary. Okay. Okay, so you in your commons. Okay, gotcha. So common, 100 million backing,
and cost,
and cost. But if you want to add 10 million, that's going to amp. Okay, so you could just go straight common for 100 million and not get any additional bonus if you wanted to. Or rare, you could just mint it for 1 billion and get your basic, that have your backing, have a 10x there. But if you want to amp it, it's you're gonna pay 10% more. But if you amp it and pay 10% more, you're gonna get 20% more on the reward, and then your common. So now there's 3 versions of amped. Like there was only one version of amped in E280, but now it's like amped super and let's fucking go.
Yes.
So I love it, dude. Okay. Yeah. Wow.
I mean,
great.
Yeah, it's really like if you're really minting this thinking you're a diamond hand, never burning, I just want rewards forever, like you don't care about the backing. So like we're trying to give those people a better cost to reward ratio, but still like every different tier along the way. So you can, if you're going to mint an NFT and you're thinking you're going to crush it in 3 months, then maybe you don't want to go to that full LFG. Maybe you just go to an amped version, or maybe you think you're going to burn it a month later, then you just mint the regular one and you're getting your 1-for-1 back. So it's like on your time horizon, how long do you think you can hold this for? Well, there's a tier for you.
So you're really benefiting, but it's also like so it's the same. All 3 like a legendary is literally 100 commons.
Yep. And LFG legendary is 100 LFG commons. So like it's the common, rare, legendary tiers are just for the users, like
LFG commons, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Right. There's not really it's like, there's no benefit in I mean, thinking you're not really going to get any, like if you have the funds to if you want an LFG and you have 15 billion, it's probably better just to mint an LFG legendary than a crap ton of like freaking 100 commons.
Yeah, I don't do that. Do not mint 100 commons. We saw one guy do that with E280 and the gas fees were horrendous. That's not what it's for. If you've got 15 billion, at most, I would say you can mint 10 rares. You can mint 10 LFG rares for that same cost. And then that gives you the flexibility you're looking for. But
flexibility meaning if you want to burn a couple and keep a couple, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. But do not mint 100 commons. That's a
and
bad
even
idea.
These rewards are the same.
Exactly. Yeah.
The reward multipliers are all the same. They're just, this is 10x and that's 10x from that. So this is 100x from that.
Exactly. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's so. And are you 1-to-1 for all 28 days? Are you dropping?
No. Same as E280, 1-for-1 for the entire 28 days.
Wow. Very cool, man. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm curious, like, for all those people that are like, I'm never selling, like, I want to see you mint that LFG then, because that's the best cost ratio. Like, you're not getting the backing, but if you never sell, then you don't care. So that's
game theory, baby. I love all these elements in here. It's like, all right, like how people gonna play this?
Right.
That's fun.
Yeah. I'm very, very interested in the stats on the spread on each tier, what gets minted. I'm very interested in that. Yeah.
And so the amped fee, I saw your comments. So the amped fee goes to the buy and burn.
Yeah. So if you mint an LFG legendary, so the mint cost is 10 billion. That's going towards staking. We're going to use that 10 billion to enter the stake pools. And then that extra 5 billion that you're paying in amp cost, that's going straight to the STAX buy and burn. So that's what's going.
That's why it's not backing. That's why it's not backing it.
Exactly.
It's buying and burning it.
Yep. So you're supporting the buy and burn without inflating the token any additional amount. but that base cost is still always going towards staking. You know, obviously that's the primary goal here, is to get a bunch of Titanx to go buy all these ecosystem tokens and stake them. But if you want to amp it, that's just amping the STAX buy and burn. So
Oh, that's freaking epic.
yeah, it is. I that was one of the latest changes that we made that I feel like was just on point. It was on point. Like that was, again, worth a delay, worth a sending a message to the dev saying, I'm sorry, there's a change. It is worth it. Yeah, I'm so happy to, like, I really want to see this in action, because
Me too.
in my head it's really going to do well. Yeah,
absolutely.
So.
Let's look through these comments here. If you guys have anything to say, I'm gonna look for some questions in the comments, and if you guys have anything to talk about, please go for it. I'm gonna try to find some questions here. I have not even hardly looked at these comments.
Yeah, I didn't either. There was, will Helios be getting support multi-chain? That's what H420 is going to be very similar to X28, where the only way to get H420 is minting it with Helios 1-for-1, and same thing, it's going to burn.
So you're going to have like your own X28 portal in a way, to get H420.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's so sick. Oh my gosh, you're blowing my mind. You're blowing my mind.
So now when I go to base to build on it, I can take X28 as an input token and support H420 all at the same time. You know, like I can do all of those things.
So H420 will be its own token. It will be the now H420 will most likely be paired with X28, right?
No, I'm thinking E280. I really like what E280 is doing, and
so you don't have to pair with X28
to on base. Yes, you're right. On base, I would pair it with X28, but on Ethereum,
a couple pairs.
Yeah, on Ethereum, I can put it with like anything in the ecosystem. You know, likely there'll be. Yes. Yeah. Just like X28 is paired with E280, it's paired with Shogun, it's paired with Titan X. It's got multiple pairs. But then once
you X28 multi-chain and Titan X is not, then?
Because X28 is designed with layer 0 technology. It's coded with that inside it.
So H420 is going to be coded with layer 0 technology.
Yes. Exactly.
Dang.
So anywhere X28 goes, I can very easily launch H420 on that chain right behind X28 and be current with everything, and just like immediately add that LP and we're rolling. So I highly recommend you do the same with Awesome X. Like,
I am now thinking about it, bro. Hey, maybe that's what we could do together. I got to do something with you anyway. So Srey says, you know what would be a cool Shogun-like protocol built on top of Helios to burn stakes?
Yeah. The thing is, like, Helios, I don't feel like you really need to burn stakes on Helios. Like, it's not a 10-year stake. Like, the max stake is 830 days.
That's right.
And, you know, so, and that was a big thing that a lot of people, you know, I was asking for feedback when I launched Helios, like, what is your guys, you know, like, what do you guys want to see? And a lot of people are like, lower that max. Like, I want max rewards without having to commit 10 years. And so I made it just under, so 2 420 payouts is 840 days. So I made max staking 830. So you can't max stake and hit that multiple times. You've got to restake to hit that 420 payout again. But so I made it just as long as I could without allowing people to game that system.
Oh, cool.
So I don't feel like we really need, you can burn your stakes. That is in the code. We can do that. I just don't really see the need for it at this moment in time.
Yeah, I'm excited about Helios. I'm very bullish on Helios. I've been bullish since day one. Hey, Tom has a question on the AwesomeX Launchpad. So I'll quickly say that, hey, Tom, if you're still on right now, I know you asked this question a while ago, but we already picked our Launchpad participant. We had a contest for submissions, and we picked our Launchpad participant, and that Launchpad participant protocol is basically going to eat up the funds in our Launchpad. Unless TitanX does a 10x, then we'll have more to come out to the community again with, which, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I'd rather have more funds in there. And the idea of Draco and Dralios Draco and Drogon and Alpha that's coming out is that it's going to feed the treasury, and it's also going to hopefully boost the ROI in the AwesomeX app, so people mint more AwesomeX and the Launchpad gets full again. So that's the idea of everything. But yeah, we picked a Launchpad protocol. We've been developing it with the person. I can't wait to tell you who it is, and it's going to be freaking fire. It's awesome. It's very awesome.
So it's somebody we know.
It's somebody the whole community knows. I knew him prior to even getting into TitanX. And anyways, he's long-term guy, huge voice, great guy, and great ideas. And I cannot wait to share that with you guys, because I'm just excited to bring other community members in, because we're able to fund it. That's the fun part about the Launchpad is, a lot of people, the Accelerate Launchpad is really just, hey, we can help you build, but we got to fund. I mean, the person coming still has to come and fund it. The Launchpad in AwesomeX is actually funding the protocol. So we pick a community member with an idea, and really the idea was really rough when it came to us. It wasn't like a full white paper or anything. It actually had to be developed. And that was the fun part too, kind of working with them, saying, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And then really just making sure that their main ideas were really still incorporated in there, but everything else around it was a full white paper. Most people aren't going to put together a full white paper for a Launchpad project. They're going to say, hey, here's my idea. And then I'm going to have to build it into a white paper, which is fine. I actually like doing that, because then we get to work together, develop it together, kind of really make it something that's going to sing and benefit AwesomeX and benefit the whole ecosystem. And our Launchpad project is actually built on X28, which is, it's great. So anyways, that's why, Tom, just so you know, we took the Launchpad link off the website right now and replaced it with the hybrid link, so you can get the hybrids there now. But yeah, the Launchpad's submissions are going to be done for a little while until we get more funds in there. Let's see if there's any more questions. Utah, what do you got?
Oh, I'm trying to think if there's anything I needed to add to that, I don't know. I was saying people were sleeping on Shogun. Then I went into the auction today, and it looks like it might even be negative ROI since the price went down. Let's look at it. Yeah.
Oh, Shogun.
Yeah, you're negative today. So, I mean, not saying I took credit for that whatsoever. I don't think anybody really cares that much what I say, but people were sleeping on Shogun. I mean, yeah.
I mean, I think people are, for me, I'm not sleeping on Shogun. I see it. It's sitting there in the peripheral. I see what's going on. But I'm out of powder, man. I'm out of dry powder, dude. I'm sitting here I got to throw more fiat in the system, because I can't be selling my bags. That's the thing. I made bad I made bad calls early on. Not bad calls, because I stayed in the ecosystem, but I faded bags in order to get into other protocols, and I don't want to do that anymore. So I need dry powder. I need dry powder, guys.
Yeah.
STAX will get you that.
Yes,
that's true. You'll get that X28 drip. Yeah. One thing that Jake has always mentioned, there's a lot of people that say, well, everybody needs Titan X, so I want to hold my Titan X. But if you listen to Jake, he'll say, well, if you're in this ecosystem and you're holding that token, it's paired with Titan X. So essentially you are holding Titan X, because you can always swap some of that out into into Titan-X. You know what I mean? So there's so many different ways to play this, and I completely understand what you're saying too, Dave. Is you can't be in them all. I mean, I don't know. I think Shrey's in them all, and
I
I'm in.
was in them all for a while until there was 27 of them. I'm like,
I know.
I do all these now.
I know it's hard. So
I was like putting the badge on like day one. I'm in day one every protocol, right? And I'm like, yeah, it ain't happening anymore, guys. Sorry, I don't have that badge anymore. But I'm still in like 85%, 88,
yeah,
88%.
yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of pick your horses, right? Pick your horses, hold with, be convicted and hold, because even in Titan X, if you're chasing green candles, you're still going to get wrecked because you're diminishing yourself. I mean, I think a good strategy, honestly, I've told onboards this. If you don't know what to buy and you want to get more stuff in Titan X, pull up Titan X Hub, see which is the most butchered chart on the entire freaking page, and buy you a little bit of that on any given day. You know what I mean? Like I've been scooping up Hydra because Hydra's wrecked right now. And
Off market Hydra.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. I've been buying it off market because your miners are big time in the red. And everybody's expecting that 88-day unlock. And I remember what happened on day 280.
I know, me too.
And I know that there's money in those buy and burns and stuff. So I don't know if that's really going to happen. So I've been DCAing a little here and there.
There's a vortex too. I just got that
Yeah.
vortex that I think it's day 90 vortex.
And then I heard, on stream the other day, Eric saying, December 15th going to be interesting. And I think that might be when all those come out. So I don't know what he's got up his sleeve, but if it's butchered, I want to get a little bit,
I got a couple day one miners coming out on day 88. I'm gonna claim those and hold for the volt on Hydra.
Yeah.
For the pillar. I'm loving these pillars, man. Yeah. They're great. Oh, I can't wait for gold to come out. But it's fun because their leverage is on the actual, and now we're going to be able to use HLX and E280 if we wanted to in order to participate in gold. Is that right?
That was the latest I've heard, but Steve, his ideas flow, and they change. So
right
until like I see an official white paper or launch date, I'm just gonna kind of let it go and see.
Yeah, me too with Awesome V. I'm like, hey, Steve's got he's got a lot on his plate. He's pushing a lot of these amazing protocols. I can't wait to see them happen. But man, I want to see Awesome V come. But I think what he said too is he's going to launch one more, maybe Infernos or something like that. And then I think he's going to launch all the rest of the pillars, maybe. But that could change.
He's still, that's what I was saying. He's still coming up with more innovation and more ideas. So I think that's what's
now
slowing
the Nexus
him down.
is gone. Yeah, because he pulled the Nexus now, and he's doing a new buy and burn for Viper. So I think the Nexus is actually going to be pulled maybe for all of them, and it's going to turn into maybe a bigger buy and burn or something else that he's going to do. And he's got some interesting ideas on buy and burns right now too, and how to put them in liquidity pools and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah. Hey, Investologic, what's going on? Thanks for being here, dude. Dude is the man. Understated hero of Titan X. I don't know if it's understated because dude's one of my heroes. But Helios is a sleeping giant. Helios is a little bit understated right now for sure, but dude's not understated in my opinion. But what's up, Investologic? I'm great to have you on here. We have 172 people on the stream right now. Thanks for joining us, guys. You guys are amazing. You're the only reason.
I haven't seen Logic around. It's good to see he's popping in here.
Yeah.
Waiting for another one of those updates.
We gotta get on a stream, Jukes the Great. I've just seen you pop up streaming, so we gotta do that at some point. But
yeah, it was good chatting with him as well. I enjoyed that.
Did you chat with Jukes the Great?
Yeah, we're doing a 3-part series on the Element ecosystem. So we've already covered E280, and we just covered Element 369, and now we're gonna next week we'll talk about STAX.
So Jukes is fairly new to streaming in Titan X, right? Am I wrong?
He's new to me.
New to me too. So I was like, I don't remember him streaming for a while, but now I'm seeing him basically everywhere. I'm like, all right, maybe we got another streamer out there.
Yeah.
Great.
He's doing a really good job too. I really enjoy his streams. He does kind of the Mike Dean style where he does the visual diagrams and that, and I'm a visual learner, so
me too.
I really enjoy it, and he's a huge E280 supporter.
Awesome.
He loves it. So you'll see him in the chat in there and stuff, and he's pretty bullish on STAX. So shout out to Jukes, man, for showing the love.
So I'll keep going, whichever you guys want. We've been on for an hour and a half, right? More than an hour and a half right now. But I want to ask, dude. So, dude, both of you, you were in the mastermind, Utah, dude. You weren't in the mastermind, were you, or were you?
No.
How did you hear about Titan X, and when did you? What was the day that you got in?
I had a friend tell me you needed to start a Titan X miner. And I was like, what the hell is a Titan X miner? And that was on day 55. I showed up like in that second hype wave. So I will say a lot of my miners did come up negative. I had a lot of positive and negative miners. So I think I probably pretty much was a wash on it all. But
Did you man long term?
Yeah, I pretty much laddered across the board, which is my strategy on like everything, like I really can't go all in on any one idea. Like I just can't trust. It's too much stress. Like if you make one, like you go all in on something and that's the wrong play, then you're done. It's I come from I used to play a ton of poker, and that was when I learned that professional poker players, they only sit at the table with like 1% of their portfolio max. So, and the reason being is because you got bad beats. Like, even if you're making the perfect plays, something still can happen and you still lose all your money. But you only lost 1%, and they still can come back to the table 99 more times before they run out of money. And if they're a good poker player, they're going to beat those odds and they're going to win in the long run. So it's the same thing with crypto. Like, if you only play with a small percentage of your portfolio and you're making these plays, you can't lose it all in one bad play. And if you know what you're doing and you're making the right plays, in the long run, you will increase your bags. You will increase your portfolio. And and I always
right now. I'm like all in, dude.
I still have Bitcoin. I still have ETH. That's always been a big part of my portfolio. And then I kind of lump in all the altcoins into one. I will admit I'm super deep in Titan X and the ecosystem. No doubt. I've pretty much forgot there's the rest of crypto.
Yeah, I know, me too.
Yeah.
I don't even want to look at it. The rest, I'm Titan X Hub, not Coin Market Cap. Yeah. Except for when I sold all my XRP to get into Titan X. Well, I sold half to mine. So I was day 67. So you kind of were right before I got in. Yeah. You got in December then, because I got in January 1st, and that was day 67. And it was really when I went, I took half my portfolio of XRP and max mined. I just max mined it all, and then Titan X goes because of all the inflation. I'm like, you know what? Whatever, because I believed in it. I read the white paper so many times. I'm like, dude, this is it. And so I just kept compounding anything and I kept adding more actually during that time. And then I took the rest of my XRP and I built Awesome X with it, and then and deployed that, which did really well actually. The first quite a few mint cycles, first month or so, and then redeployed all of that again too. So I'm really all in. But even though XRP went up 6x and I would have taken my portfolio and 6x'd it, literally since January, I have 6x to that same amount. So, with the Titan X ecosystem, by compounding it, keep compounding it in here. So it's like, I'm not down, even though I didn't stay in XRP. Although Smooth was telling me about moon bags, which I didn't even know about. I'm like, it's a really good point. You got to keep your moon bags, man. Just don't sell everything when you sell something and get out. Keep a little moon bag. But
yeah, what about you? I mean,
go ahead.
Just to finish real quick, like to me, like you throw money in, like the first thing you do is pull out your initials so that you're free rolling the rest of it. And then if that builds up and you're wanting to cash out, yeah, you keep a little moon bag. You take your profits and then you got a moon bag. So when you realize, oh, I cheated and this thing 100x after I sold, you still got some that got that 100x.
Yeah, I cheated all of my Baby Dragon X, my day one 3 billion Baby Dragon X. But you know what I cheated it for? Helios miners, dude. I was like, Baby Dragon X was doing nothing. Yeah. And I'm like, this is stupid. I can't do anything with it. I can't stake it. I can't do anything. So I sold it all and I got into Helios miners. I was like, I'm just going to do Helios miners. And I did that actually quite a bit. And max miners, man, I'm just like, max mine, baby. Let's do this. I love mining. And then they had the 170 or 127 freaking X. I'm like, goodness gracious. He's like, oh, you were one of the 3 billion holders. I was like, well, yeah. He's like, they didn't even have that many mentors. During this, I'm like, I didn't realize how small of a group I was in. I got into Baby Dragon X day one, but I won't make that mistake again. Not that it was a mistake, because I got into Helios, and actually I believe Helios has a massive potential. So, but I should have kept the moon bag, like kept the
exactly. Yeah, or 100 million or whatever, like, 5-10%. Like, it wouldn't have hurt you.
Yeah. I should have kept a little XRP, right? But I actually couldn't, because the audits came in and I'm like, I got to pay for those. And then deployment comes. I gotta send my new ETH for deployment, and then getting on CoinGecko. It's like all those additional fees, even after you build. It's like you build it, then you get it audited, and then you get your extra fees, your deployment and your all your listings and all that kind of stuff. And then your marketing after that. It's like the money keeps going out, and we are funding it, guys. This is fair launch stuff. We are all funding this stuff ourselves, or we're building a protocol that allows us to be perpetual with a treasury or something and keep building. And so that's really what I love about AwesomeX, because it's allowing me to continue to build. I still have to come out of pocket right now because I'm building 3 things at the same time. But that's okay, because I just believe in this. I'm a builder in general. I build things, and I like to create things, and I'm so excited to be building in DeFi right now. DeFi 3.0. So that's another thing. Before I get to you, Utah, I'm writing a book right now called DeFi 3.0, and really it's about the new revolution of crypto, and it's really like hyperdeflation and fair launch. It's really going to be talking about Titan X ecosystem, but there's a whole chunk of it that I wanted basically have some essays or from the other builders. So, if you guys are interested in like putting together like a why I love Titan X, or what you love about Titan X kind of thing, like, dude, Utah, all the builders, like, I'd love to include everybody in the book, because I think this is going to be something good if we go to conferences and stuff like that. Whether or not anybody reads the book, like we could do an audio book of it or something, but whether or not anybody reads the book, it's way better than a business card, because now a book gives you authority at conferences and stuff. If you can hand out a book, people will throw away a business card, but they're not going to throw away a book. You can sign it. They'll put it on their shelf even if they don't read it. And so, and it'll even get you to be able to speak at conferences and things like that. So I'd love to include you guys, just to throw that out there. Hey, Trust Titan X plan. Heck yeah. Write something. And absolutely, dude. We got a section with community members. So write something, get it to me, and I'll get it in the book, man. I'd like to, my goal was by the end of this year, but it's probably going to be more like mid-January before it's actually done. But I'm getting it there. Got the full outline and cranking away at some of the chapters. So it's working pretty good. But I'm super stoked on what we're doing. Fair launch, hyperdeflation, DeFi 3.0. I mean, layer one on top of a layer one. We're really straight innovating. There's going to be a whole innovation chapter in there about everything we're doing to innovate with hybrid NFTs and with, all this stuff and perpetual auctions. So really excited about that. So Utah, so you were in the mastermind and then, were you day one in Titan X, or did you hold for a couple days before you got in, or were you just like day one?
I'll let you in on a little secret. This is going to ruin my reputation. I'm actually day two.
Day two. All right.
I watched it play out day one, and then I went in. This is crypto. Anything could happen, you know. I like to make sure that contracts execute and things like that, you know. I've since overcome some of that fear and got in day one on some stuff. But yeah, I was actually day two. But I mean, I was there the whole time watching everything, and then I went in, which normally day two isn't a big deal, you know, versus day one, but it was in Titan X because that T rank bonus was so massive in Titan X. Had I went in day one, the T ranks I would have got were huge just by missing that one day.
Wow.
But it's all good. I mean, I had onboards that went in day one. They're like, "Screw you, I'm in," and I'm like, "All right." But yeah, I've been
What's
here.
onboard? What do you mean onboards? You have something going on? You teach or whatever?
No, just friends.
Oh, friends you brought into Titan X.
Brought into Titan X. Yeah,
Wow.
they brought me into crypto. I brought them into Titan X.
Nice.
Yeah, and so you know, I've been here since the beginning, you know, and when I think about it, it was like, I don't know, I just happened to be there, and then next thing you know, I'm like doing stuff like I wasn't really supposed to. Like Jake's like, we need moderators for the Telegram, Utah and Bad Sports. You guys want to go? And I was like, okay. Never moderated a chat before. Sure, go in there. Next thing you know, and I just happened to be in these places, you know. And same with the Blaze team. Steve DeFi was like, I want to build something, and who's interested? And I didn't see the conversation, but Rain Man saw it. And Rain Man likes me, and I like him. We're friends. We always talk, and so he threw my name out there, and then Steve reached out to me. Hey, let's build something. And then Blaze happened. And then while we're in Blaze, you know, they come up with the Inferno thing. Okay, let's do Inferno. And then this one, you know, I finally just kind of reached out to dude. I just went off on my own, but I was inspired by, you know, E280 and that. But like I said, this wasn't my plan per se, right? It's really evolved. And I tell you what, I wouldn't trade it for the world. And we haven't even seen the green candles yet. I love the builders. I love the community. I love crypto. Like, I love this, man. Like, I don't believe any of this is by accident. Look at the amazing people in this community, dude. I love it here. I'm here, man. I'm here for it.
I don't really think any of this I don't really know about accidents. This is all ordained somehow in the stars and all that kind of stuff. But so how'd you hear about the mastermind?
Jake Sharp in my DMs.
Oh, nice. So Jake was like getting out there. It's like pushing it out there.
I think he had bots doing it. But
oh, nice.
But back in the day, way before Titan X, Jake Sharp used to comment a lot about Hex and stuff in that ecosystem. And I tell you what, man, Jake, when it comes to market cycles, he won't talk about it now. You know, I've tried to get him to talk about it, but man, he called Bitcoin bottom on the day. He really did.
Wow.
And he's really good at market cycles and analysis and things like that. I mean, dude knows crypto. He really does. He is no joke, man. And so I used to watch his shorts and watch all his YouTube streams, and like I was just a huge fan of Jake. And then when I got the DM, you know, for the mastermind, I was like, I don't know about
DM on Telegram or on X.
X.
Okay.
It was X. And I don't even think it was him doing it. He probably had marketing teams doing it or something like that. He's a marketing guy, man. He's pretty
Yeah.
good at it. But anyway, I had a phone call with him, and for about 30 minutes. And at the time I was running 2 side businesses and a full-time career. And he's like, "Man, you hustle like a 20-year-old." I was like, "Yeah, I kind of do. It's weird, but so I did it and I joined. And one thing people need to understand about masterminds, if you get in a good mastermind, yeah, the leader's cool and all that, and you learn from the leader, but all the people that you surround yourself with in the mastermind that are all working towards the same goal, that shit's powerful. I mean, look at all the people that were in there. Steve DeFi was in there. Ali was in there. Irish Crypto, Bad Sports, Rain Man. I mean, the list goes on. Kevin Light Up.
Jake learned, the leader of the mastermind learns from the mastermind itself as well. That's why it's a mastermind. That whole Carnegie was the one that started the word mastermind. But when he started it was like, yeah, he created a group of minds that are all working together towards the same goal, meeting consistently. And it's way more powerful. It's like you could do a curl with one hand and you can only do a certain amount of weight. But when you add a bar, now you can actually do more than double the weight just with 2 hands on the same bar. And so when you get 8, 10, 20 people that are focused on the same goal and you're combining all the minds together, that's really when magic can happen. Like we can be good on our own, but being great requires others that are focused on the same goal around us, in my opinion. But yeah, I wish I was in the mastermind. I mean, if I would have known about it, boom, I would have sold my XRP right then and just got an ETH and got in. But that's all right. I think now we kind of actually have a mastermind, though. It's just all the streams and all the builders and all the stuff we're doing. We're actually doing a mastermind, but it's a public one.
That's what I was going to say. It sounds like you're describing Titan X.
Really? Totally, right?
Yeah.
I mean, every time someone innovates, the builders are like, "Ooh, that was nice. How do I incorporate that in my protocol?" It's like, even Jake is like Shogun is E280 meets Volt meets something else. I don't know, but he's like basically he took pieces of all the best parts of the things that he liked that all the builders did, and he did it on X28. But we're all learning from each other here, and it's DeFi, so we can do it. We can keep doing it like this. It's just so exciting. Like anything's possible. If you can dream it, somehow these devs can build it. Although there are some things I put in the white paper that the devs are like, "Yeah, I don't think I could do that." I'm like, "Okay, well, that's okay. We can switch it." But
yeah, I'm just grateful to be part of it all. And don't feel bad. A lot of mastermind members left and they got shooken out during that bad time in Titan X. After the hyper launch, everything went down. Some of them got pissed and they left. So people have been shaken out, but if you stayed the course and you trusted the plan, and, I believe we're going to be rewarded for it,
I think so.
And I really appreciate you having us on, Dave.
Man, I'm awesome. So excited for STAX, and thank you so much for asking me to do this. Like, I'm always in. Anytime you guys want to do something, you let me know, and I'm 100% in. But yeah, so let's do. We've been on almost 2 hours. Like, this is great, guys. I don't feel I always get so much energy when I talk to you guys. I'm like, it just pumps me up. It's because you guys know what I'm talking about. If I say hyperdeflation in the real world, people are like, nah, what are you talking about? I'm like, just think about what I said for 1 second. Hyperdeflation. That's not too hard to understand. But no, it's really hard for people to understand. Anyways, I guess most people don't even understand inflation. So it's like they don't even understand that their money is getting worthless every day. So I just think we're innovating on levels that if you know anything about finance, we are decentralized. Anyways, I'm gonna take it from there. But dude, what are your closing statements to everybody for STAX, for whatever E280? What do you got for everybody?
Yeah, as far as Helios goes, if you're a part of the community, I need your feedback. We're about to push like 3 votes through in Snapshot, so keep an eye out on that.
Happening right now?
We're probably going to start them up in the next day or two.
On Snapshot. And you go, okay, so if you want to do that, let me just go here really quick. Share screen. So let's go over to Helios. And what you do is you go to governance, right?
Yep.
And governance takes you to Snapshot. Okay, cool. And so when you're in Snapshot, all you do is you connect your wallet to somehow, right? I'm not on I'm on a different browser without my wallets on this one.
Yeah, connect your wallet, and it's all gasless, so don't worry about having to pay transaction fees. You're just signing a transaction. You're not actually like.
Does this mean it's active? Oh, gotcha. So this is the active one.
Yeah.
So right now it's use treasury funds to mint E369 NFTs, and so you just give a little description of what this is, and you come over here and you can either vote yes or no.
Yep.
And so you're going to have a few other votes coming up.
Yep. Yeah. So we're going to have allowing STAX to stake in the Helios protocol, use investment pool funds to mint STAX NFTs so that we can pay our stakers X28, and then use additional investment pool funds to just provide element 280 liquidity. While we're just sitting on funds, we might as well put it in liquidity to earn trading fees. So those three votes. I just want to make sure we're getting the word out to everybody before we kickstart these votes. So we're going to do a little bit more posting on X, and just making sure we get the word out. That's all. And then so keep an eye out on those. And then STAX coming December 22nd. That's right around the corner. The staking easy button. That's all you need to know right there.
9 days, guys, for STAX. All right, Utah, how do you want to your closing words?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to the Phoenix protocol. They're launching in a few hours.
That's right.
Callum's launching, so be looking out for that. I'm sure there's probably a countdown timer on the website. I'm not sure, but yeah, don't miss that. And then Mike Dean's got one launching, and he's launching Matrix, and then STAX will be coming after that, and then probably Flare, I think, might follow those. So there's launches coming out.
USDX is something's going to happen with that soon too. We don't know about it yet, but I think supposedly that's pretty close.
Yeah, I've been hearing some chatter about that too. So yeah, keep marketing, keep supporting your builders, keep tweeting, keep everything, man. We got the best community around. Let's go. Hyperdeflation, DeFi 3.0. We're going to make it, guys. Stay the course.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's fucking go.
Well, thank you guys so much for being on this stream with me. I just have such a great time streaming with you guys. Let's do it again, especially after you launch STAX. We'll see how that's going and how the old the Helios universe is shaping up. I love it. It's so amazing. So we have 178 people on this stream right now. You guys are the real OGs sticking around for this 2-hour stream. And I know I do it too. I stay around for 2, 3, 4 hours on these streams, just like you guys. But thank you so much for being here. And till next time, my name's Dave. CryptoAwesome out.